We are at the Snetterton 300 circuit this weekend, and I do have to say it is one of my favourite circuits.
Literally arrived at Snetterton. It's a nice sort of 20 degrees. It's not too warm. It's not raining yet.
It's got a mix of corners, got some undulations, got some
Tight, twisty corners.
There's plenty of areas for overtaking. The hybrid here is going to be very, very effective, along with the 3 different tyre choices we have this weekend as well. It's going to make the racing very, very interesting.
So my name's Scott Sumpton and I drive for Restart Racing in the British Touring Car Championship. For me, this is where it's at. The British Touring Cars is where it's at. TCR was an amazing 2 years for me, progressing and learning front-wheel drive style of racing and touring car racing. Moving into the big boy leagues, as some might say, you can't really build yourself up to it to hopping into the British Touring Cars.
My name's Daryl DeLeon, I'm 18 years old and I race for Duckham's Racing with Unlimited Motorsport. The way I got into touring cars was halfway through last year. At the start of 2023, I won a scholarship called the British Endurance Championship, and that was in the touring car type programme. And then halfway through the year, once I got the opportunity to race in BTCC, that's when I appeared at Croft. I did half the year last year, learning the car, stuff like that, and then I managed to get a seat again for 2024, which I'm really happy about, and that's with Unlimited Racing. Got a lovely new sponsor, Duckham's Racing as well, lovely colours, it all looks good, and I'm just really happy to be here and back on the grid again.
So I'm Smiley, I drive in the BTCC for Restart Racing. So I basically started racing karts whenever I was 7 years old, raced all over the UK, finished there in the BRDC Stars of Tomorrow in 2006, which is effectively the British Championship for karting. I won the Genetis Junior Scholarship in 2007. We always wanted to race in the BTCC, and it was sort of like 2013 when I won the test in the 888 MG, Jason Plato's car, we got a test. And ever from that day on, you know, we had our goal set that we wanted to race in the championship. So the biggest change is obviously the cars now are 80 kilos heavier than where they used to be. They're a lot more powerful now. The hybrid has fundamentally changed the car, how the car handles, the driving style of the car, and how you make it work. My hopes for this weekend, I would love to get inside the top 10, put myself in a position for race 3 reverse grid. A little bit of luck and you never know what can happen.
It's not actually rained anymore since FP2, so I don't know what the conditions are going to be like. I think it's going to be really greasy out, so the track's always going to be evolving, so I've just got to learn, and especially with the quick 6 qualifying, we've only got 10 minutes to try and put a lap in, and round such a long lap round here at Snetterton, we're only going to have maybe 2 or 3 push laps, so I'm going to need to try and adapt really quickly to what the track's doing, so especially on the out lap, try and find where the grip is, and then, yeah, 2-3 laps, just try and push it as hard as possible.
Okay, so we have 30 seconds, so you can start her up.
And the green flag is shown then, so we are in business, the clock starts, and the field making its way on a damp circuit down towards the first corner at Britches. 10 minutes is all they get for each of these segments, and we've had over a minute already, and they haven't even got round to start a flying lap in the BMW's case. So, with 7 minutes on the clock, now they are on to a flying lap. This takes me back to that earlier point about the number of laps available for some of the cars, depending on whether you're front-wheel drive or rear, where you are in the queue, because 10 minutes around here doesn't give you that much time for many laps.
He's got a good exit out to the back straight, which is good. He's got a real good exit.
But a 154 would be pole position of last year. They're not going to get near that in this, but we'll see how close they can get. The 2:11 for Jake Hill is compared with Colin Turkington's lap time of a 2:12.
Yeah, he's got time.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, you can. You've got 3.5 minutes left, so you've got enough time. Just back it off, cruise round.
And at the moment, Chilton is out, Thompson is out, Moffat is out, Sumpton is out, Halstead is out, and Thompson needs to be in. So those that will go through are Jake Hill, Bobby Thompson, Rob Huff, Colin Turkington, Andrew Watson, and the sixth of them is going to be Ronan Pearson. The second group of cars will be getting set very shortly. They, remember, are Dan Camish, Ash Sutton, Mikey Doble, Dan Rowbottom, Aaron Taylor-Smith, Adam Morgan, Chris Smiley, Josh Cook, Daryl DeLeon, and Sam Osborne.
It's all right.
It was good.
It's tricky out there.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky.
Bloody tricky.
It's not like full wet, it's a bit slippy.
It was just like where it's adapted from
FP2. Yeah, exactly.
It's just changed. But again, I wasn't far from Moffat either.
No.
So.
That's good. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very much, David.
There's two really big challenges for the young guys who are coming in with no experience. A, they probably won't have done much winter testing, so the car's still very new. It won't feel like it's a nice comfy pair of shoes. It'll feel like you've got someone else's shoes on. Because of the experience or the lack of, they don't know what the car can do, what it's capable of. And also, they don't know what it can't do. And you need to know both parameters. And there'll be different parameters for each given corner, whether it's a high speed, a low speed, a medium speed. And those parameters will change during the course of a race run, quite considerably. And until you get a really good feel on what it can and can't do, and what's normal and what's not, it's very difficult to be on the limit. Really difficult to be on the limit.
Let's go.
Okay, Chris, good luck.
Right, this is going to be an interesting one now because the road might be a little bit drier. We know that 2 minutes 10.6 is the target to compare against.
He got told not to take his time. He got told to go flat out the box. Out the box, flat out.
You can see where the tyres are making marks through the wet on the track.
Yeah.
So it is still drizzling out there.
And we're already into the second half of this allotted time. That's Chris Smiley going by, and he will be forward.
Come on, Craig.
It's a decent lap. That's a decent lap.
Right now, those that are out are Aaron Taylor-Smith, Daryl DeLeon, Adam Morgan, surprisingly.
Everyone's doing the same. Everyone's gone slower, which is good.
Sutton, Camish, Cook, Smiley, Rowbottom, Morgan that are in, so Doble is out, teammate Taylor-Smith is out, DeLeon is out. I'm tempted to say we've got the top six already here, haven't we? And if the road is getting wetter and the times aren't coming, it may be that people pit early.
First lap, flying lap, it's his best lap. I mean, tyres weren't up to temp.
When they took the temperature now, they should be absolutely singing.
There's not going to be a massive amount of shuffling, I don't think. Some will get another lap out of this, but the flag is imminent, look, with 46 seconds on the clock now.
Morgan will get quicker than
Yeah.
That's all right, we've got a bit of room there.
Recognition for Chris Smiley, fourth fastest in the Restart Racing Cupra. So let's see, here comes a big deep breath, and here comes Adam Morgan to the line. Seventh at the start of the lap, but as he breaks the beam to end the session, he's up to fourth, so that knocks Taylor-Smith out of it. Daryl DeLeon was going quickly in sector one, and the Cupra comes up to cross the timing line, and Daryl DeLeon's lap is not an improvement either. So Taylor-Smith out, Doble out, DeLeon out, Osborne out, and Sutton's top time of a 2:11.3, demonstrably slower than Jake Hill.
That's it, boys, yeah. Just. Good job. Yeah, you're through to Q2, so you are into the next session. So cool everything down and bring it back, please.
I mean, what was weird is we went out, he did a good lap, and then he didn't extract the tyre. So whether or not, I don't know. The tyre didn't get better. Normally they get better after the third, fourth lap. And he sort of did the best lap on his first flying lap.
It's just the same. It just feels the same since FP1 and FP2. Like no different.
Really?
No different. It's like the same as brands.
Just can't get out the corner.
I just can't. I can't get the power down.
Yeah.
I drove that as quick as I can.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Yeah.
Right, we're in business then. This is Q2. Again, 10 minutes, 12 drivers, and we want to take 6 forward. So now it is about being quick. You've got to get through. You've got to set a good time. So Matt Neal overseeing this car.
Well, I believe Matt Neal's helping them. I mean, he's got a wealth of experience about all aspects of how a team should be run, how the cars should be set up, what they should feel like. I would imagine he'll be an enormous help, actually.
46.5. I'm telling you, it's decent.
So, we got to spin it out. I think that's Adam Morgan. It is.
Yeah.
He's gone off. He's not having a good weekend of it. just can't find the grippier parts of the track. He spun at Riches. Fortunately, he can get restarted. That was in front of Bobby Thompson.
And at the moment, the 6 are Hill, Thompson, Camish, Sutton, Cook, Watson. So out would be Huff, Rowbottom, Turkington, Smiley, Morgan, Pearson.
Currently P10, Chris, with 3 minutes remaining. Cool everything down. You can go for one last lap, okay?
With just under 3 minutes to go, the road has got slower again.
Yeah, what's happening is that the road isn't really wet enough for these wet tyres, so they're actually overheating.
Yeah, P10, if you box this time.
Chris Smiley 10th has had a lap time disallowed for track limit offences. Huff gone, Turkington gone, Rowbottom gone, Smiley, Morgan, Pearson gone.
Okay, Chris, good job, mate. P11, well done. Morgan just picked us on the last lap there.
Yeah, that wasn't perfect, but yeah, it wasn't bad.
Well done, mate.
Good.
Well done.
Yeah, that's better, yeah.
The only independent in there as well. Is that right? Yeah, he was the only independent, so good job.
Struggled to be honest. The car feels the same as it did at round 2 at Brands. We just struggled to get out the corner really. Getting back to full power, just can't do it. It's a very massive delay in it, so yeah, struggled, but the team are working very hard. I'm pushing as much as I can, and that's all we can do really, hoping for some decent results tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes.
There's 2 types of teams. You've got the manufacturers and then you've got the independents. Really the difference is, in theory, the manufacturer teams have a bit more budget because they're financially supported by the manufacturer. Whereas the independent teams, exactly what it says on the tin, they don't have any manufacturer support. So they don't have access to the same level of personnel, the same level of budget. If you've got a good car, some good staff, some good engineers, clever people, the right level of budget to keep on top of the car, to life components, to do it properly, there's no reason why an independent team can't win.
So I started working with Daryl. I was part of the process that selected him for the Team Mod Scholarship back in 2023. He obviously won a drive in the British Endurance Championship in 2023, which I was the team manager of, and we did go and win the championship in our first year with him. And then obviously partway through that year, there was an opportunity for him to come into touring car. So it's a massive learning year for him this year to do a full year at the age of 18. Look, he's a very, very talented kid. Anybody who understands motorsport will see him in a few years' time in a proper front-running car.
How's it going, boys?
Yeah, I think it's going good. I think it can always go better. But I think for us to come as a new team, Scott is a new driver into the series, and me returning back to a very new BTCC with the cars changing with the hybrid system. They're a bit heavier now.
Yeah, we're 2 meetings in now, aren't we? So 6 races under our belts. How are you both finding with the use of the hybrid? Because obviously there's a lot of information on the dash you've got to take in and absorb and react to, and then use strategically through the race. And how are you finding that?
Yeah, well, obviously we've got a plan in our mind where we're going to use it, and sometimes that if you maybe have a bad exit of a corner or something, you maybe just don't hit it exactly at the right point in time.
And now they've sort of included boost with it. It's improved this year, hasn't it? Yeah. So it can be used as a bit of a weapon for attack and defence.
It's both the same, because if you've a load of cars around you and you're sort of defending because you haven't got the pace, you can see that whenever you use it, you do give yourself a little bit of a gap. But you have to be careful that the car in behind isn't saving his up, so that whenever you run out, they just steam straight past you.
So have you seen the grid today? You're obviously a bit higher up. You've done well, had great qualifying. You had a good solid qualifying. Any flash points you can see for the day ahead?
Well, obviously with the rain, it gives opportunities, and it's easier to make mistakes in the rain. So there is potentially some of the cars in front that we could make places quite easily, and that stands the same for us. We just have to get a good start and sort of pick our way through. That you can survive the first few laps and get going. There will be places to make, and obviously there's a few fast cars in behind us that are probably out of position from where they normally qualify. So yeah, if we can hang on the fringes of the top 10, and who knows what can happen. You get yourself in the position for the reverse grid, you don't know what can happen.
It looks like the rain's cleared away, so yeah, we've gone for the soft option tyre to give us the best chance. I don't think many people will go for the soft in this race, maybe a couple around us, but I think most people will go for the medium, so hopefully we can use the best out of it and do some pushing and get forward.
So, in terms of tyres, Goodyear bring 3 compounds and a wet. So you've got a hard compound, what they call the prime compound, which is kind of like the medium one, and then you've got a soft compound. Obviously, the softer the tyre is, the more degradation you get, but it gets you a faster lap time. So the top 10 in race 1 have to run the hardest tyre that Goodyear have brought along to the track. Some days that might be the hard tyre, some days it might be the medium tyre. And that's a penalty. That's a big penalty.
Give him hell, Chief. Have a good run. See you get back.
The 5-second board is displayed, and we are ready then for the first touring car race of the day. It is round 7 of the Kwikfit British Touring Car Championship. It is go, and a great start by Jake Hill as expected, but Ash Sutton out-drags Adam Morgan.
Good start. It's a good start.
Look at the purple BMW with Bobby Thompson on the outside line, because the Bobster has made a really good getaway as well, and he goes third, going down towards Riches ahead of Morgan.
Good start, Chris.
So Jake Hill leads, and he is trying to get away as expected from the rest of them. Sutton second, Thompson is third, Morgan is fourth, Camish in fifth. Tom Ingram comes up to attack Chris Smiley. So the two of them running together. Chris Smiley in the Cupra.
Come on, Daryl. Yeah, get with him. He's behind Moffat. Moffat's going down the inside of Pearson.
Right, as we go on board with Turkington behind Cook, so we might see some. Oh, look, there's the first line. The first line straight in front of us on that cold rear hard tyre for Cookie, coming out of the Nelson corner and through went Turkington.
And Smiley and Ingram, so Cook goes backwards, and now Rob Huff at the end of lap 1. Jake Hill will lead at the end of it. This is on board with Chiltern Contact. That was possibly what you saw. And look, he's on the outside line.
Oh, he's gone up him.
That's Ingram getting himself back ahead of Chris Smiley. So those two currently are arguing over 8th and 9th places. Smiley going really well in the top 10, which is great to see for that real underdog team.
Okay, mate, great job. Go with Ingram now.
Yeah, and he's had a great weekend actually, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And really good to see Chris Smiley getting towards the sharp end of the touring car grid, and that is Moffat creeping back with left front damage and a puncture.
That's another one gone.
That's Moffat. That's that puncture from Chiltern.
And driving in the background, one spins, one of the Napa Fords up the escape road. So there's been another sort out coming down towards the S's, and it was Scott Sumpton that went around. It was Sam Osborne, I suspect, off in avoidance.
Scott, I need you to get the car out on your own, mate. We can't afford for a safety car or anything like that, so can you get the car going?
Up front though, Jake Hill has really got his foot down. He's a 1.7 second lead over Ash Sutton. But will we get a safety car if Sumpton's car can't move on its own?
Very possibly. He's trying to get it going, and it's gone through that sort of 30-second cycle, power down, power up again.
Carl's going to have a look over the pit wall, but there's no grass or anything like that, so you can carry on.
Slightly slower, and Thompson took 6/10 out of him, and he's gone through on the inside line. Job done. So now the BMW, with more hybrid available, admittedly, is flying, and Ash Sutton loses a place.
Okay, mate, so you've got 6 laps of hybrid remaining. Huff has got 6 laps as well. There's 8 to go, 8 laps to go.
Daryl DeLeon's had a spin coming out of Riches, and that was Sam Osborne almost getting caught up in it in avoidance. And this was how it all happened.
Got wide halfway through the corner, lost the rear, ended up spinning back onto the track and giving Sam Osborne a very anxious moment as he came round the corner.
And a mechanical warning flag for Chris Smiley. That's why the black and orange is being waved. The door is flapping by the look of it, or the window is flapping.
Chris, up the straight, just try and shut the door for me.
Chris Smiley pressing on for the moment, although that meatball flag is going to have to be waved at him again when he comes across the line.
He's just gone round and he's closed it. He's just told me it's shut, yes. It's not open. He's just weaved it and he's shut it.
He's going to have to have that looked at.
Sorry, if you can't swerve it and close the door, then you're going to have to box this lap. The locks! Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
There is Chris Smiley in. lots of sticky tape applied, door slammed shut, he'll go back out. Huge frustration. Speedworks felt it for the same principle with the meatball flag bringing cars into the pit lane at Brands Hatch, and the Restart Racing team will be just as frustrated here.
That's the weekend now.
One more corner to go, and then that uphill rise towards the timing line, towards the checkered flag, and towards win number 13. It is going to be a BMW 1-2. Jake Hill wins race 1 of the day at Snetterton, and a great drive it was as well. Bobby Thompson, a career best in second place. Ash Sutton comes across the line third, ahead of Camish. In 5th place, it is going to be Watson, and then for 6th over the line, Ingram.
Well, Snetterton was really the first glimmer of promise from Chris in particular. He qualified better than he had all season, and then he had a fantastic start, and then the door opened, and and what looked like an Indy win was suddenly not. That was retirement. So.
Hello, you mate.
Yeah. It just opened. Nothing touched it.
Sorry, but we ain't closed it on the grid.
It's that f***ing door lock.
Apparently, that was like that from Brands.
I put a new door on it, and I've watched them slamming it all day.
But that's a new door.
It's a new door, yeah.
The f***ing internals are fucked. Inside, they're broken.
Well, shows us pace in the car. We'd have had the independent win then.
I was turning in and it just snapped out my hands. And then I do it again. Huh? Do it again. No, because I was braking early into that.
Oh, right, okay.
What a first race we've just had here at Snet. I mean, to get a win again is just absolutely awesome. You know, I haven't had one since the end of last year, so yeah, I mean, it's a bit mixed. It's the first dry running we've really done, and you know, the car was absolutely faultless, so over the moon.
Today started off on a really positive note with soft tyre on. We got away into 8th place, and yeah, a little bit lap 5 or lap 6, the door opened going around Coram, so a bit frustrating. But no, in fact, it was very frustrating.
You know, like, you do everything possible. You lads work so hard. You plan to go out there, you go on the soft tyre, you know.
Yeah, we'll have a good time.
Yeah, like, independent win was yours, you know, all yours, and you deserve it all. And then the fucking door comes open. See, why is that not opening now? It's so tight in there. Yeah, that's shut.
Cool. Well, let's get it open again and put the phone back in.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
First race was really good, really quick. However, going into turn 1, it just snapped on me. It snapped on me. I managed to correct it, but once we were wide, we were on the marbles. There was no getting back into the corner. So I ended up, unfortunately, running wide on the grass, trying to save it, and we just lost a load of time. However, we finished P17, which is 2 positions off points. But the good thing is that we've got the pace back again. So all eyes on the next 2 races. It's just really heavily rained it down, but I'm just going to keep pushing and see what we can do.
There's a lot against these young guys coming in and even just having one good event throughout the course of the year. It's tough. But of course we do see, you know, every now and then a young guy will come in and you go, ooh, that's a bit tasty. And it's generally those who have got natural talent, because then they've got more bandwidth to think about all the other bits and bobs you've got to do. So yeah, it's no mean feat coming in. And, you know, and they'll shunt, they'll crash, they'll hit people, you pick up damage, and then, you know, this starts spiral diving, because, you know, this is another thing. Everything about motor racing is in here. We can all catch a car. It's what goes on in there, and what goes on in here, you know, in your heart when you're racing.
Oh, look at this standing water in pit lane. It's ridiculous.
So can you ask Sam for me, right? Because I've declared the wet tyre. So now he wants me to declare a tyre if I box for slicks. But if I don't box for those slicks...
You have to declare an option tyre. You still have to
declare it, yeah. So can you ask Sam, if I declare a tyre now and we don't use it, do I have to use that for race 3, even though I've declared the wet?
The answer is yes.
You have to use that in race 3 then?
Because you declared it, and the rules are clear on that bit. You declared it,
Just
you didn't use it.
Just wanted
you
to
have
make
use it
sure.
in the next available
Because
race.
then the reg that says declare a tyre, which I've declared a wet, this is where it's now got a bit lost. So.
Do you get that? So we've got 5 minutes to declare what dry tyre we want to use for this race.
Okay, medium. We're not going to try and play. Let's just keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
medium's the next best one. We're back down there, so that's all we can hope for. Then pray we get rain for race 3, which is a possibility.
Okay, Scott, so just bearing in mind that Chris has gone on the slick tyre, okay, mate? So just be mindful of that going into turn 1.
100% that's wets at the minute.
Just got to bide your time, all right? Bide your time.
Right, but the pit lane is going to get busy. And part of this now is not only going onto the slick tyre, but how quickly you can get the car turned around to be at the front of the queue of those leaving the pit lane.
Absolutely, but they have to put on the tyre that they nominated for this race. So for Ingram, that will be the hard tyre.
The lights in a moment will go red. We've had the 5-second board. Round 8 of the Kwikfit British Touring Car Championship set to go. It is blast off and a good getaway by Hill. Good start by the Toyota on the inside of Andrew Watson then as they run up towards Riches for the first time. Bobby Thompson not quite so well out of the blocks this time.
Go on, Daryl. Go on.
So there's your leader, Jake Hill. Now remember, all of these, with the exception of Rob Huffer on the wet tyre, those that are just joining in for the pit lane are also now on slicks, and their progress is going to be fascinating.
It's worth using his hybrid while he's got a good tyre as well, isn't it?
There, look at the back, Huff and Smiley. Those two are the leading slick shod cars. We'll see whether they're going to be caught by those from the pit lane. Time penalties, Bobby Thompson and Jake Hill. They're being given a 10-second penalty. Have a look at the start. Look at those two BMWs at the front. They creep a little bit.
Right in the background, you can see Huff and Smiley, look, right in the background, coming out of the final corner, just as leader Jake Hill is turning into turn 1. So that's the gap.
I've got to say, though, it has suddenly clouded over. It's got cooler all of a sudden. It's got greyer overhead. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have another sprinkling of rain.
Okay, mate, this track is coming. You're only about a second and a half off these top boys. Rob in front is on the hard.
They're 2 seconds a lap slower, the fastest one still, and there's 10 seconds behind.
There is Rob Huff, who is still leading the slickshod class, as it were, chased by Chris Smiley, hard versus medium. Jake Hill's lap, the best so far, was a 2 minutes 10, and when Rob Huff comes across the line now, we know that his lap was a 2:18, so that's the difference.
8 seconds.
Track limit warning.
And then 10th is Daryl DeLeon, 11th is Scott Sumpton. That's the wet race, and then this is the slick race, headed by Rob Huff, ahead of Chris Smiley, and in the background is Aaron Taylor-Smith, who is flying.
I'm not being funny, look at Aaron Taylor-Smith's last lap time, a 2:15.8. Chris has done a 2:19.5. Like, you've got to tell him the track is there, he's got to believe in it.
Aaron has still got to catch Smiley, but it is now raining once more. I did mention a lap or two ago that it had clouded over, so a sprinkling of rain comes, and that's going to throw the calculations up into the air, isn't it?
You literally can't write it. It's unreal, isn't it? What you got to do? What do you have to do?
Come on, keep raining.
And this is the Rob Huff incident at the S's, so that's because it started to get wet again, catching out on slicks.
Yeah, he did exactly the right thing there. He came off the brakes once he realised he'd lost it.
Aaron, 2:07. 6 seconds quicker than Chris.
So everyone that went on wets has been absolutely saved. Those that changed to slicks are doomed.
And not on the racetrack is Andrew Watson, and this is how it looked.
He just came in with a bit too much speed, lost the rear of the brakes.
Oh! Wow.
Osborne and Daryl DeLeon rounding out the top 10. 11th is Scott Sumpton, and then it's Aaron Taylor-Smith ahead of Huff, Smiley, Ingram, and Turkington it will be next of those on the slicks. This, meantime, is Huff versus Smiley.
Oh, big slide. These guys doing so well on slicks. I can't tell you how difficult that is.
This has been an outstanding performance. Jake Hill wins again at Snetterton. A fantastic drive. Jake Hill dominates race 2 of the day. And Huff has fended off Chris Smiley. He's got to do, he's off again. So for the second time in the race, Rob has a moment. He's back on the road, he's off the road. Smiley is going to get up the inside, is he? Is he? Yes, he's done it.
Yes!
And at the end of all of that, it is Jake Hill, Dan Camish and Josh Cook, the top three, after a really lively race.
Yeah, well, had it not rained, you might have been looking at the winner.
Took his time, huh? Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely knackered on the lap. The whole race was really difficult. We were just sort of trying to manage your tyres throughout the whole of the race. It was looking to dry up, and if it didn't rain halfway through the race, we would have been totaled. We would have been, I think the guys on the slicks would have come back at us, but hopefully we get picked out of the hat. We chuck the soft tyres on if it doesn't rain and get an amazing result. That's what we need to do, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, that was good out. Well done, mate. Top job. Top job. Well done. Let's hope for a good pull now in the hat.
Yeah. Front tyres were just non-existent the whole race, so it was just a long race about managing the front two tyres. Literally every time I pick up the power, it just spins up, so it's just about getting offline and preserving the tyres. But that's top 10 finish, so that's my best ever result in touring car, and we'll keep pushing from now.
Reverse grid draw, you all know what happens in here. We've got the drivers who finish 6 through 12, and you're going to give us number 9. Number 9. 9.
I would find it very difficult not to be in something like British touring cars because of the stress that it brings. I mean, it's almost addictive. British touring cars is a big boy game. It is raw racing, and you cannot underestimate how good these guys are. Everybody who turns up on a weekend is addicted to the stress, or they find a way of managing the stress because they're addicted to the win, but they know they're not going to get the win every weekend. But they still keep coming back. They still put themselves through it. Why else would you come back? Because you can't win every weekend.
It's not going to rain again, though. No, out the back's dry. We look on the video, on TV.
Soft. I can't wait. It's going to be good. We've got to set, if we go forward, we go forward. If we go back, we go back. We've got a P11. So I know. I can't wait. I really can't wait.
It's fun, mate. Get out of the car, big smiles, and we'll have a laugh.
Last race of the day. Weather is going to play a part again. This side of the track looks very, very wet. Look on the mini race. The other side of the track looks drying very quickly. I think my shout at the minute is give it 25 minutes. I think you'll probably be on slicks.
The moment when you get to the grid, you go out the pit lane, go around and you form on the grid. And there's millions of people around. That's a really stressful environment, I found. The only way I could kind of de-stress myself and just take a bit of the get me boxing gloves on in a minute, where I could regulate that was just get on the radio with the mechanics and the engineer and just have a giggle. Just get you out of that stressful situation. Things like that, you learn along the way, because you've got to be in the right frame of mind at every single point during the weekend. And it's bloody hard.
Have a good one, buddy.
Go well, mate.
Lee. You've got Scott and Aaron around you on the soft and the hard. You've got Huffy behind you on the soft. And then behind them, you've got Turkington and Ingram both on the medium.
It's a 50-50 gamble, isn't it?
100%.
It's a 50-50 track. It's only going to dry. It's not going to get wetter. Look at it.
No.
So you go with the drying than the wetter.
Chris, Sector 3 is really, really wet. Just make sure you're not the one that's going off. Make sure you stay on that track, mate, okay?
The grid is formed. Round 9 of the Kwikfit British Touring Car Championship is go. Bit of wheel spin from Sam Osborne, but he outtracks Aidan Moffat. Bobby Thompson tries to switch sides. Good getaway by Andrew Watson. A demon start, though, by Josh Cook.
And Jake Hill on wet, absolutely storming round the outside. He only just found room. Look at him, sweeping round the outside on those wet.
Sam Osborne sideways. Big cloud of smoke. He's still sideways.
Oh, no!
Daryl DeLeon sideways, and I think he's tagged Chris Smiley in the background. Smiley's car goes off the road, and damage, and big damage, and that could well neutralise the race.
Yeah, we saw it, mate, we saw it. The front left is really badly damaged, so I wouldn't advise moving it. it just damaged the car even more.
This is where it is wet. This is where the drivers on slicks have got to really work hard. Bobby Thompson there trying to recover. He was way back after his dramas earlier on in the race, and he's a little bit slow coming off the S's. That's half ahead of Ingram then. So Camish, Turkington, then the recovering Doble, and Scott Sumpton next in the queue. Scott was saying pre-race he desperately wanted it to be dry. Chris Smiley wanted it to be wet. Chris, we've lost his car parked by the side of the road, and the road is clear therefore once again. And we'll see who gets the fastest lap of the race if it changes on this lap. So far it's to this man, Jake Hill.
Bodywork off, tape strips ready.
Does this tell us any more of the story? Daryl DeLeon ahead, and a bit of debris on the road.
How bad is it? Come on. It's not. Nah, they'll be all right because it's off the bumper as well. We'll be all right with that.
In 7th place it is Ingram, 8th is Ash Sutton, 9th Daryl DeLeon, and the fastest lap of the race now, Rob Huff.
Yeah, Sutton's gone past. He's just got to stay behind Ash.
Huff again on Cook, tries to go around the outside. Josh doesn't give him a lot of room. Huffy all over the grass.
He won't like that one bit, I don't think.
He's gained the place, but sensibly gives it back. But will it
Actually,
be
they've lost a lot of ground there on the wet part, haven't they?
Yeah, but big slide by Moffat, and it's all got crossed up, so Huff goes through.
Now we're into the dry section of the track. I don't think Hill will be able to survive another lap.
And this is for the race lead, and 20 years after his last British Touring Car Championship win, which came at Snetterton, Rob Huff leads and could be on for another victory.
This could be a first for Speedworks as well, an all-podium for Speedworks if they can finish 1, 2, 3.
Rob Huff is going to take honours in race 3. Rob Huff wins at Snetterton. Second across the line is Aidan Moffat, and for third it is nose to tail, but Josh Cook does it.
P12, mate, that's all right. Like that. Well done, Chief. Good weekend, well done.
Actually a pretty good race, there's a lot happened. But yeah, our pace has dropped off at the end, which unfortunately hindered us from having a Jack Shears podium. But again, a lot of positives to take away. We're getting quicker and quicker every weekend, so just got to keep pushing now, and yeah, we'll see.
The last race was pretty tricky, to say the least. We played it really well. We was on the soft tyres for race 3 just then. And what a bloody race it was. I was sideways coming out of turn 1 on the first lap. I just feel like in myself I could have drove a little bit better, and I was trying, I was pushing it as hard as I could out there. Just maybe race 3 wasn't meant to be. It was really difficult. Sector 3 was completely wet. So I was trying to keep it nice and contained through there, but maybe I was trying to keeping it nice and contained when I should have been pushing it around sector 1 and 2. But I learnt lots, and massive, like over the first 3 rounds of the year, it's just been a massive test of changing conditions. We're doing stuff that we wouldn't have done before. I do have to be really happy with the results that I have got today. Although maybe race 1 and race 3 didn't go to plan, we tried things, and some things work, some things don't. So we've just got to keep our heads high moving into Thruxton. And yeah, overall really happy with how the day's gone. And I think somebody's gone to get me a beer, so I feel like a nice ice cold beer will just top off the day.
Yeah, hard tire, race 3, starting 13th. Got a really good start off the line. We made a few places. Yeah, coming out of Agostini, I'm not actually quite sure what happened. I still haven't seen back on camera yet what's happened, but yeah, there's basically a whole load of cars have got into each other, and with contact being made with another car, the car effectively came across and hit my right hand side or left hand side. I'm not actually too sure what side it came from, the impact. Yeah, it's just disappointing, you know, and especially whenever it's something that's out of your control. You know, if you make a mistake and you go off the track, yeah, it's still disappointing, but it's your fault ultimately, you know. But with what happened up there, from my understanding, there was other cars involved, and one of them came across and hit me out of it. So yeah, that's life sometimes. But yeah, as I say, we're going to regroup, get ourselves back into the sort of form that we're in this weekend, and hopefully at Thruxton we continue on and keep striving towards getting into that top 10.
I mean, not bad in the end. Started off pretty badly. You know, yesterday the car felt fantastic. I think we bought a car here this weekend setup wise that I've been asking for all year, and the guys absolutely delivered on it. Yeah, I think it's safe to say we put it right in race 3, starting P14 on softs, and absolutely mega. And for it to be a win as well is very special. And to do it like that from 14th on the grid, to do it with my friends and family here is very, very special. And to do it in race 3 at Snetterton as we did 20 years ago is just mega. One to remember for sure.
So Thruxton is mega, viciously fast, scarily fast.
It's the fastest circuit in the UK. It's very difficult. It's very, very quick. If you have an accident there, it's a big accident.
Obviously, I'm chasing that 5th title. That's my personal goal.
It's just so tough.
Hell. Well, he's hit something, no one's hit him.
That's dangerous.
Safety car, safety car.